Welcome to Get It Straight from the Source with your host, Patti and Toranat. Patti is intuitive and will utilize her gift of clairaudience to help you by bridging to the universal truth. Her soul coaching method can help you live an authentic and joyful life. So now, please welcome the host of Get It Straight from the Source, Patti and Toranat.
Welcome to Get It Straight from the Source. This is your host, Patti and Toranat from Bethesda, Maryland. We are coming to you live from BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Today, we will talk about quantum energy and how its power affects us in every way. This subject is very dear to my heart, and I have a strong desire to share this valuable information with you as I got it straight from the source. I have learned and have grown so much from facilitating sessions for my clients with the quantum healing hypnosis work and the soul coaching work that I do. Many of my clients came to our sessions feeling lost, hopeless, and feeling like their backs were against the walls, and sometimes feeling like I'm only their last resource. So I get to help people find their truth, knowing that they have all the tools, and I show them the options that they already have, but they may not be aware of it. So they can make changes in life with a great deal of understanding. We need to find the main cause of the trouble and make the essential changes right there. The soul must be involved to make changes that promote the growth for its evolution. This will be a permanent solution once we understand ourselves and know our powerful divine selves well. Many of the people I get to help became enlightened at the end of our sessions. It may take an entire day for us to make it to work during the session, but it is worth every effort, especially after they had exhausted from all of other resources they thought they had. I do receive updates from my clients periodically, and they tell me that they are able to maintain the state of mind. It is certainly a life-changing experience for everyone who is ready to make changes. And I have been helping people with the same basic information that I have got it straight from the source. And my pure intention is to pay it forward to you here on our show. Life definitely will become more pleasant and joyful once we find what we are looking for. And when we will not find it anywhere else outside of us, but only from within ourselves. It is in the heart. I too have learned more and more from helping people to find themselves. People come from all walks of life, feel the need to question and look for their truth, the authentic truth that is already there within ourselves and always wait up for us to be discovered. I teach the same concept to everyone, but I download information at the level of each person's frequency, which is perfectly aligned with the person. The beauty of how it works is that I am the one that gets the most out of this work. I get to teach the same concept from many different angles, but the solutions is always the same. I get to learn more every time I teach, and I get to become more expansive with the awesome knowledge that is so enlightening to all of us. How it works is that I help people make the connection with the higher self, and we get to bring forward the information from the source of knowledge. The higher self will show them what they need to know, and they get to learn and grow from it so they can work on the self-healing. They also receive some personal answers for the questions that I asked them to prepare prior to our session, All of this will happen naturally during our quantum healing hypnosis session. I have learned so much from the information that my clients brought forth during our session from the source of knowledge, and I apply those same knowledge that we get, that we receive straight from the source. I apply in my own life, and the amazing changes that I get to experience within myself and with others are so phenomenal. The life-changing experience that we get to listen and learn from the source is priceless. It helps us grow spiritually and become more evolved. I am more enlightened every day because of my work. And today, I would like to take this opportunity with my pure intention to inspire you, our wonderful listeners, so you can learn and gain knowledge about this truth. And as I'm sharing some of the most valuable knowledge I have learned from the source with you, any information that you resonate with it, go ahead, explore it. See what you can do to make it work for you. It is priceless when you know what you need to know about simplicity of life that has great potential to help raise your awareness of who you truly are and who you are capable to be at your best. I might only be able to scratch the surface for some of you within 1 hour of this talk, but my intention is to introduce a new perception that may be an inspiration to anyone who is already in the process of searching for the truth. So you can stop looking outside of yourselves and just allow yourself to look deeply within and find your own divine power so you can claim it, own it, and find the solutions. It is my highest intention to gift you with this knowledge as a guiding light. I utterly believe that this light will help you throughout your journey. Just allow yourself to tap into the wisdom from source within you, and just allow yourself to blossom into your finest as you are taking part in making changes for your own personal growth. Let your wisdom guide you through the exploration of your path with joy. So let's do it with me today. So, all right, let me pay it forward to you with that information, okay? First, I would like to build a basic foundation for us. It may be basic, but it is extremely essential indeed. We need to build a strong foundation so we can build more structure on it. If you resonate with any of this information that I'm bringing it to you, and as you can feel it from your heart, and you believe it to be your truth, make sure you allow yourself to open up your heart and your mind to accept it with love and gratitude to this knowledge that will set you free. The source of knowledge will always speak the truth. Allow yourself to explore it without judgment, okay? There is no good or bad or even right or wrong. It is what it is, and it is so. We have been living our lives under the programming with deceptions and under the belief system of others long enough, whether under the limitation of social standards, upbringing, or environment. We get to have the life experiences that may build us or even break us. It depends on the foundation of our own belief system, which we take on from others. Well, we'll be right back after this short break to talk more about it. You are listening to Get It Straight from the Source on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I'm your host, Patti Toranat. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to Get It Straight from the Source, We are live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I am your host, Patti Intoranat. Before the break, we were talking about how we've been living our lives under the programming with deceptions, and this may build us or break us. And the accumulation of living life under a false belief may have huge negative effect to our health and also to our relationships with others as well. False belief can cause us to have fear, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, and sadness. And we would turn those emotions inward to sabotage our health without realizing it. The troubles always start from the same root cause, and it is from being judgmental. It doesn't matter whether we are being judgmental toward ourselves or toward others. The results are the same. Because when we judge ourselves or judge someone else, we open ourselves up to react with anger, sadness, fear, and any emotions that we have strong feelings of. And when this becomes a habit, we will accumulate the emotions from those anger, sadness, resentment, and so on. The body will release the chemicals which destroyed our healthy cells in the system. It is very harmful to our health. It is how we get ourselves sick. The stress hormone is very harmful because the body reacts to those feelings. They are gruesome because they will store in the cellular memory and turn into emotional baggage. And guess what? This is what I mean by we get ourselves sick over time because it does not happen overnight. So the accumulation of this storage may not be shown until it is overloaded. And once it is overloaded, it will be shown in our physical form. But if we are powerful enough to make ourselves sick, we can utilize the same power within ourselves to get ourselves well. Do you see what I mean now? Let's also imagine living life under rage and fear. Just see how this can affect every relationship that you have with others. We tend to say things we don't mean when we are angry, and of course, we cannot take those back after we feel better. And if we make any decision based on fear, of course, it will definitely block us from moving forward and choose the choice that isn't helping us for the long run. So, today, if you can just allow yourself to make some good changes with the new belief system that you can resonate with, and allow yourself to claim your authentic truth and get good use of it, you are powerful enough to make yourself sick, so you are just as powerful to get yourself well, right? It does make sense, doesn't it? Okay, it is time to start building that foundation now. Let's start from getting to have a good understanding of the origin of everything. So, what do you think the origin of everything is? Is it love? Yes. What kind of love? Yes, it is the unconditional love. Unconditional love is so infinite and it cannot be measured. So yes, the origin of everything is love, the infinite energy of unconditional love. Energy will be the key word that we will be using throughout the show today. Unconditional love is so infinite and it is so perfect. This infinite energy of unconditional love doesn't have a name, but let's come up with some kind of name so we can have something to refer to. All right, how about divine being or God? God is love, the unconditional love that is infinite. How about source? The source that is the origin of everything. Well, how about the creator? The creator that creates everything. Okay, how about the absolute, the infinite, the all that is, almighty, supreme being, oversoul, divine energy, the higher self, or oneness? Well, any of these names seem to fit, right? I will pick a name out of these options now. So let's call this infinite energy of unconditional love, the divine being. The divine being is so perfect, so kind, and so loving. All right, let's bring science into this for a little bit, shall we? I love and appreciate science because science has a solid proof for many things. You know how the scientists always want to have proof for everything, right? Most of the scientists have their scientific mind and they like having proof for everything, so they say, we believe it when we see it. But we are going to use their data and go beyond that today. We want to believe it, that is why we will see it. Things we don't know that exist, it doesn't mean they do not exist. Agree? Well, okay. Let's explore it further now. Ever since Nikola Tesla came out with his statement that energy is everywhere, the scientists wanted to have a proof to that. And they have been able to do so. They can prove that statement now that yes, energy is everywhere. And they call this energy neutrinos. You know, I didn't even know how to spell neutrinos until my client, who is a physicist, taught me how to spell this word. This client flew in from New York to see me, to have a session with me. She knows quantum physics by heart, but believes there must be more to this. She is a spiritual person, and she told me that. She took all the workshops and read all the spiritual books, but still feel the need to search for a completion. Yep, she did find it from our session. And you know what? It was there within herself the entire time. She felt completed and felt wholesome after the session, and she will share her experience with us in the future show. I'm looking forward to have her on our show in the future. She explained how the physicists invented the type of machines that can measure energy everywhere. And they try to quantify the neutrinos in the universe. But of course, they couldn't. But the data proved that the neutrinos in the universe is infinite and could not be measured. So they named those neutrinos in the universe God particle. They also measure the neutrinos in humans, and they have found exact same neutrinos within each one of us to be in trillions. Yes, this is to prove that we have the same quantum energy of the God particle in us. So, where are those energy in our body? Energy has no form, right? And energy cannot be seen with naked eyes either. Well, every organ in our body has some kind of a form, and it can be seen. The heart, the lung, the brain, and everything in our system has a physical form, right? Even our blood has a form. Well, they are in the mind. They are our thoughts. That's right. Thoughts are energy, and thoughts have no form. And we cannot see thought, can we? Thoughts are in the mind, and the mind is in the brain. The brain has two sides, the left and the right, which they have different functions. The left brain is the intellectual side. It is a logical thinking side. It thinks a lot, and it thinks it knows everything too. Things it doesn't know, it gets frustrated. It is the lower conscious level of the mind. It is the ego. And when we come back, I'm going to talk more about the right brain that we need to be aware and use more of. I'm your host, Patti Tornat. You are listening to Get It Straight from the Source on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Friends.
Welcome back, everyone. This is your host, Patti Tornat. You are listening to Get It Straight from the Source on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Before the break, we were talking about the energy in our mind, and we talk about the left brain, the intellectual side, the one that thinks a lot, and it is the ego part of us. So now I'm going to tell you about the right brain. The right brain is the intelligent side of us. Intelligence is knowingness. Knowingness is wisdom. And wisdom is a common sense. Common sense is a sense that is not common. Very few people have it, do you agree? They are the collective side of the brain with subconscious, superconscious, and supreme consciousness. The subconscious is the innate that is there to accept any thought and any belief system and always be in an agreement with the conscious mind. It is the consciousness that gets to explore human experiences, to learn and grow from making decisions with emotions that turns to feelings. So as we know that thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become the characters, and we are what we believe. Can you see how we live our lives based on our belief system that produced by our thoughts? So what happened if the belief system is not authentic because it has been altered from other people's belief system? And it can cause pain and misery. Well, you've got that right. It will deeply affect just about every decision that we make based on those deceptions, the one that we believe it to be true. So be aware that our subconscious will always say yes and agree with us, things that we believe we become. So now, let's talk about superconscious. The superconscious is the inner guidance level of consciousness. It is the soul, and it is so loving and always have our best interest in mind. But how many of us allowed ourselves to tune into and listen to the inner guidance? And the last one in the collective is supreme consciousness. The supreme consciousness is a divine energy, the spirit that is already perfect with unconditional love, with peace, joy, and harmony. But how many people tap into that part of the authentic divine self and allow oneself to be more divine? This is why I feel the need to help people understand it. Both sides of the brain, the ego and the collective, are talking to us all the time at the same time. So, when we pay more attention to the ego in the left brain, its voice becomes louder to us because we give more power to it. But if we pay more attention to the collective in the right side of the brain, their voices become louder because we give more power to them. And when we tune in and become more in tune, we hear those voices in the form of intuition. And we must be aware that they are there, whether we choose to listen to them or not. So now, let me show you how the energy works within us. I will give you an analogy with a comparison between energy and water, okay? Energy and water operate so similarly, and here's how. Pretend we are a tank, water tank filled with water, and pretend that we collect water from all over the world and we put in our own tank. Okay, now, what happens when we put all the water that we collect in the tank together? They become one unit of water. All is one, right? That is how energy works in our mind too. We become one with the frequency of any energy we collect in our mind. So what happens when we collect muddy water from somewhere and put it in our own tank? The water in the tank will get cloudy from the contamination, right? And if we keep collecting more and more muddy water and put it in the tank, the water in the entire tank will be all muddy. Well, thoughts are like that. Imagine thoughts in our mind being contaminated with low frequency, that is muddy, from a habit of collecting the negative thoughts. That is not a good thing, is it? Because again, thoughts become words. Words become actions. Actions become the characters. And we are what we believe. What we believe, we become. How muddy will we be if we keep becoming entangled with negative thoughts? What kind of belief system we hold and how that will affect us? Our energies in the mind are like the water in the tank, so we must keep our energy clean. How do we do that? Very simple. I will show it to you when we come back after a short break. You are listening to Get It Straight from the Source on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. This is your host, Patti Intaranat. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get It Straight from the Source. I'm your host, Patti Intaranat, live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Before the break, we were talking about the energies in the mind that work like water in the tank and how we need to keep that clean. So let me show you how right now. Let's imagine along with me that today we clean that tank. We get rid of the mud and replace it with clean water, meaning that clearing away the negative thoughts in our mind and we choose to replace it with the positive thinking. All right? There is a catch though. If we do not place the filtering system in the tank, it's going to get dirty again, right? You know how the fountains must have the filtering system to keep the water clean? So we need to have filtering system in our mind too. What is that filtering system in the mind that we need to have? It is an awareness. We need to have an awareness to filter our thought process. When we have the awareness of what we are thinking, within 3 seconds, we can filter the thoughts. And if we don't like it, just have to change it. Because we have the gift of free will. You know, 7.5 billion souls on earth have the exact same gift from the universe, and it is a gift of free will. Even Source will not interfere with what we choose to think. So when we have the awareness, we can choose to think different thought, right? How do we have that awareness? Well, back to the simplicity from practicing meditation. It has been scientifically proven that when we meditate, we take our consciousness to the alpha level. And at this level, we tap into the pineal gland and we activate the right side of the brain, the collective consciousness of subconscious, superconscious, and the supreme consciousness that filled with love and wisdom that I talked about earlier. So within 3 seconds of filtering the thought, we can quickly make changes and replace it. Now let me show you how we know what need to be changed and how to make those changes, okay? Well, we know that energies vibrate at a different frequency. So let's pretend we have 21 levels of vibrations. 11 being at a neutral level, and 12 to 21 are the high vibration of the frequency. And these are the frequencies that vibrate from the feelings of gratitude, love, peace, joy, harmony, compassion, kindness, grace, courage, trust, forgiveness, patience, and non-judgmental. They are the vibrations of the source, the divine energy within us, inside of us. It is in the right brain. So let's go opposite now. Let's go to the lower vibration of these frequencies. And this will be from 10 down to 1. We will start with judgment, because judgment carries quite a dominant energy and it carries very low vibration. It seems to be the lowest frequency that vibrates, because when we judge ourselves or judge others, we open ourselves up to the frequency of fear, hatred, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, worrisome, sadness, greed, jealousy, disharmony. Everything turns dysfunctional on us. These are the frequency within the left brain. The human emotions that can be very muddy. Can you see that? So, through our free will, we can choose what part of the brain we want to give more power to. The left or the right, the divine within us, or human side of us, ego or the collective. The choice is ours. I laid out good options for you to see today, so when you make choices with every thought that you are aware of, you will have plenty of good options to choose from. I find that the high options from the divine high frequency, as they are the options of A, B, C, D, and E with all of the above, and all of them are good choices, see? But the low options from the ego, and they also have A, B, C, D, but E, none of the above, which none of them are good choices at all. So choose wisely, okay? So, okay, now you have a basic knowledge that you need. And remember to bring in an awareness to catch your thought, okay? Any thought seems muddy, just don't keep it. You can choose not to hold on to it and just replace it with a clear and clean, positive, good thought. You've got that? We all are a very powerful co-creator, and we get to co-create our realities with the universe. Any thought that heart accepts becomes an emotion. Emotions becomes feeling that we feel, and we react to it. Also, the emotion is a driving force to connect with the infinite energy in the universe. The universe will always lovingly say yes. Say yes to every vibration that's sent out from the feelings, from the emotions. And our feelings will make the connection with the infinite energies in the universe, just like water in the tank. The universe will lovingly work its magic like an alchemist, co-creating those frequencies we projected to. And we will have more of that creation going on in our reality, because they will be manifested in our reality with the help from the universe. So, if we have a habit of having the thought that fills with fear, and the heart accepts it, the emotion of fear becomes feeling that will co-create with the universe. Lovingly, the universe says, yes, we will co-create more fear for you to experience, and of course, more situation that creates fear will be manifest in our reality. We're going to come back to talk more about this after the break. You are listening to Get It Straight from the Source on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I'm your host, Patti Intaranat. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Get It Straight from the Source on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I am your host, Patti Intaranat. Before the break, we were talking about how our thoughts that heart accept become emotion and feeling, and that will be their driving force that co-create with the universe. And we talk about if we have the thoughts of fear, of rage, and that's what we will get more in our reality because we are the one that co-create that. So on the contrary, we catch the thought and within 3 seconds, we make a change and make it a loving thought. The universe will say yes too. We will co-create more vibration of love in the reality, and that too will be manifested. We get to manifest more loving situation in our reality. That is the nature of one. All is one, just like water in the tank. So remember that. We have about 7.5 billion souls on earth at this point, and we all came in to this existing with the same exact gift of free will. Even souls will not interfere with what anyone chooses to think, so we must utilize the gift of free will with the divine power within us, not with the power of the ego. So how do we do that? Practice mindfulness to raise an awareness. Meditate, meditate, and meditate. It is free. And it will free you too. Free you from thinking muddy thoughts. Free you from collecting and being muddy like water in that tank. So now we are ready to utilize that gift of free will for a healthier manifestation, right? You understand now that we must have an awareness of the thoughts. We want to think good thoughts that our hearts will accept with the feelings of love, peace, harmony, joy, compassion, and kindness. With courage and trust and this process that we are co-creating with the universe, we must be aware that we must focus on what we would like to have more of. The universe will help us with the manifestation, and we just have to be patient with it. I live my life now in a different reality from most people, and it is a very different reality from what I used to have at one point indeed. I broke away from my old habit that seemed to co-create much trouble into my life, and now I have a new wonderful habit of sending gratitude for everything in any given moment that I bring my awareness to. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. I love and accept myself now, and I appreciate the simplicity that life has to offer. The feelings of love that I have for myself and others are constantly overflowing and is sent out as a river of light everywhere. I get to touch people and bring calmness and kindness out in them. People become more balanced when I'm around. And I really enjoy creating this kind of reality in my environment now. I do not see issue in life anymore. I only see an opportunity to grow. I do not feel the need to react to anything because I don't judge anymore. I accept everything for what it is. And all of us are growing and evolving as much as we allow it to be. Out of 7.5 billion souls on earth right now, there are only 4 types of the souls. And they are spiritual and evolved but not spiritual yet, spiritual but not evolved yet, and the last one, neither evolved nor spiritual. We are here to be of service to one another. The evolved souls that are not spiritual yet seem to pair up with the spiritual souls that are not evolved. We get to help one another become more evolved and more spiritual that way. And the ones that evolve and spiritual seem to learn the most from those who are not evolved nor spiritual. They give us the opportunity. The evolved but not spiritual give the evolved and spiritual one the opportunity to learn and practice unconditional love, compassion, acceptance, forgiveness, and to trust. Trusting this process, we all are as divine as one another. We are not lesser or greater than one another. The only difference is we are not evolved at the same rate, that's all. We are the divine presence having human experiences. And we are here for two major reasons: to work on our soul evolutions and to be of service to humanity. Evolve means returning back to something. And when you spell the word evolve, E-V-O-L-V-E, L spells backward to L-O-V-E, love. We are evolving back to love, to the origins of everything, the unconditional love. To love is to evolve. And when we learn to love unconditionally, we evolve back to the vibration of the origin that fills with great harmony, peace, compassion, kindness, joy, and of course, returning back to the unconditional love. We get to be of service to others by being in the loving essence without judgment, without fear, anger, resentment of any kind. We all are here to also be of service to one another, and in order to be of service effectively and successfully, we have to be of service to self effectively and successfully first. We first must love and accept ourselves. Many people have a bad habit of worrying a lot. They worry about what if I don't have this? What if I don't have that? What if this happens? And what if that happens? We need to have this awareness of these kind of thoughts because it will set up a bad habit of keep worrying about the future. Understand that what if doesn't serve us. And it doesn't have to happen unless your mind focus on it. And it will be created by you. The future filled with the unknown, and the unknown creates fear. Fear is not even real. It is an illusion, a product of the mind. If we give the power of thought to fear and project it to be real, it will be as real as we project it to be. Remember how powerful our mind is. We will come back and talk more about this after a short break. You are listening to Get It Straight from the Source on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I am your host, Patti Nat. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our last segment on Get It Straight from the Source. You are listening live on BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. I am your host, Patti Nat. Before the break, we were talking about the frequency that we get to co-create, and we have a very powerful mind to do so with the universe. So with this co-creation with the universe, with the emotions and feelings, we can focus on each moment and utilize the power of the now, co-create what you want in your reality every minute with that. The now, the power of the now is a very important choice that we can focus on. It is about choose to focus on the present moment. Present means gift. By focusing on the present moment, we give the gift to ourselves. The present moment has no past, has no future. So anything that already happened a minute ago and million minutes before now, they're not happening anymore. And the future is not now, not in this moment. And future filled with fear, because it is the unknown. Unknown has so much fear. So the unknown creates fear. Why should we bring fear that is not even real into the present moment? And that will interfere with our best moment that we are having right now. So choose to focus on every present moment. And as it is the most precious moment that you want to give the gift to, let that be. Since neither the past nor future are in the present moment anymore, we get to focus on each moment with the power that we have right now at this minute. We get to remember now that we are a divine presence having human experiences. Claim your power, embody it. Be in the presence of the great I am. Tell yourself that I am co-creating my reality with these vibrations that I choose to be in. I shall not bring the past know the future into my present moment, and I choose to just be. Be in the presence of divine authentic self, and I trust that each present moment that I give my best into will be the continuous of the next minutes in my life. Just claim it, own it with this great I am, the I am that I am. So as you allow your present moment to be in the power of the now and focus on remembering that we all have the divine energy within us, just remember that we can co-create and manifest anything through the feelings from the thought that our heart accepts. Utilize the gift of free will. Remember to co-create with the high vibrations at the highest frequency of the divine power that's already within us. We have that power of love, of peace, joy, and harmony. So make it a new good habit. Have the awareness of your ability to co-create in your reality. When we co-create with the universe, with the highest vibration, like gratitude, we will have more and more abundance in our reality, more abundance of love, good relationships, more peace, more joy, harmony, and even more abundance of money. Speaking of abundance of money, imagine some people have a habit of thinking of lack, complain and worry about not having enough. And those are the people that perhaps not aware that they are the ones that manifest more lack into their realities. And when they shift the thought process into abundance, all of a sudden, more doors are opening up to them and help them achieve and create more abundance. This is the law of the universe. Like attracts like. We are what we believe. We are what we become. We are what we choose to become a part of, and we are what we make of it. The choices are obvious. Just choose them wisely. I know it works from my own experiences and from others that I get to observe as well. This thought process, just believe, choose wisely, and be more kind to oneself and to one another's. Become more productive, living the life with much more joy. This reality too can be yours if you choose to apply it and make it work for you and not against you. Thank you very much for listening to Get It Straight from the Source. For more information about me, please visit my website at hypnosisphenomenon.com. This is Patti Internut. For now, namaste. So much love.
This has been Get It Straight from the Source with your host, Patti Internut. Join Patti each week and learn to listen to your inner guidance for real and positive change. Right here on Get It Straight from the Heart with Patti Internut.